Spiritfarer is what a lot of people would call it a relaxing game. Which honestly I don't have time for it because I have too many games to play at too little times and stress is outweighing the relaxation. But once you do have the time to play the game, it's pretty chill. You start off with the beautiful artwork and the amazing music, like mwah, mwah, so good. Teach me your way, Maxime. We almost share the same name, just one letter apart. Please share me, please.
Have I mentioned that I'm a sucker for good music and I'm a musician? youtube.com/@CriticalMaxim.
But the game goes like this. You're taking the job of Karen, the Spiritfarer. For those who don't know, Karen is the boatman in the Greek mythology who carries souls and rides them across the rivers Acreon and Styx. And your job is to carry the spirits to the world beyond death, usually by satisfying their needs, completing their objectives, and giving them hugs. Lucky. If you want to be more jealous, this kid, whose name is Stella, also has a cat named Daffodil, which supports and accompanies her everywhere she goes. Like when you play the music, the cat sings. The cat sings! Why can't I have a cat that can... Why can't I have any pet that can sing? Ah!
You get hugs, have a cat that helps and loves you, and you're the captain of your own boat? Sign me the... Hell? Heaven? Limbo? Sign me up!
And I think we can start off here. The animation in this game is really good. Like when you're hugging each spirit who has different animal-like forms. And they all have different reactions to it. Some are surprised but accepting the hug. Some are just accepting it immediately. Some just really embraces it too. And it's not just that. The animation just tells you what you need to do or what you are going to do. Like when you are fishing, you understand that when your fish rod is going red, it is too stressed out and you need to release the button or the fish will run away.
There's a lot of these animations I can go on, but I wanted to show some of them because they are really good key examples of show, don't tell. Even if I haven't played the game for a while, for maybe days, weeks, months, when I come back to it, I might forget a mechanic here and there. But because these animations are so good, so reminding, so sewing, I guess, that you kind of remember them again. It's like, oh, I have to hold the button so that I can pull out the vegetables. Or, oh, I have to make sure that I'm not holding the fishing rod too much, otherwise it will just break. Those are pretty cool.
Keep in mind the game is not difficult at all. It shouldn't be. It's a relaxing game. But the animation is a key point in this game because you're not here solely for the gameplay, but for the story and the interactions behind it. Not gonna spoil them as they are more mission based, but each character has their own tale to tell. And it's up to you to uncover it. It's not mind-blowing, but it is nice to know their life before they have to departure. And then there's these little things like how Stella likes to swim, but the cat just balances it with her spirit ball so that she doesn't get wet, which is so cool and funny that it just puts a smile in my face every time I see it.
So the story is great. Well, more so the sub-stories, mainly because we are more so concentrated on the characters, and overall it's just simple. But the characters inside it is more detailed, more lore, you get the idea. And the presentation, the music, the animations, they are beautiful. They are amazing. So what about the third one? The mechanic itself, the gameplay itself. Well, unfortunately, I do believe it's the weakest link of them three. And it's not in a way you would think.
Like I mentioned, you are now the boatman for the spirits. So you need to collect spirits and help them with their mission to bring them to your ship and then satisfy their needs with food, hugs, and more missions. But for this, you need resources. Food, you need to get fruits, vegetables, fishing, recipes to cook. For building stuff, you need wood, stone, copper, you get the idea. But you also need money, aka glimpse. Glimpse aren't really a problem to grind though. It's actually, in my opinion, one of the easiest things to grind. You can sell junks you don't need. You can also sell resources if you have a bit too much. You can also do this really cool thunder collecting event or jellyfish to get glimpse and extra resources too.
Honestly, the last two is the most adrenaline part of the game, and just the right amount too. You have so much fun, like collecting the thunderstorms or collecting the jellyfish, the music they play while it is, the way you have to collect, the way it's so fun. But when you feel like you're done, the game is like, yeah, you're done, let's move on. The timing to find that, the timing to find just the right amount of fun and just to move on, it's so difficult to execute. And yet, this game does it perfectly.
And there's more that is fun in its own way. Like carpeting, you need to cut the right way to get more wood. Clothing is timing. And my favorite, just playing music at the right time to grow the plants faster. When, again, your cat sings. Speaking of that, playing with two characters is so much fun. The second player plays the cat, and multitasking becomes so much easier and faster to do so. One can just water plants while the other can go fishing. Unless you need to go to next location, or if they are a bit too far from each other, you can do your own things and be fine with it. Truth be told, if you know a friend who also wants to get into the game, I highly suggest playing co-op over single player because the fun is just amplified. If someone just wanna do one thing over another or getting same resources at the same time, go for it. Plus, the cat has its own animation when you're doing co-op, so that is amazing. Hi, WeirdoMaxim here. I just wanted to make a quick update about the whole thing because I don't know where to put this in the script. You can play Daffodil as a solo game, as a solo player. So if you don't want to play Stella, you can go to the options and change the first player to be Daffodil. I personally haven't done that mainly because I haven't played it yet. But if you want to do it, if you prefer playing Daffodil over Stella, you can. And I'm very happy that they gave you an option to do that. Alright, let's continue with this video. Keep in mind, when playing solo, the cat could still get resources at certain events like collecting thunder when she just so happened to be at the thunder strike zone. And the other NPCs also helps with stuff too, like Atul with carpeting and Summer when playing music to the plants.
And yet, this game has, whether you like to call it a problem or not, it's something that I honestly don't like. The time moves a bit too fast.
In this game, you have 5 time modes: dawn, daytime, afternoon, after sunset, and night. You will be traveling most in the day and after sunset, and at around nighttime the ship stops and everyone goes to bed. You can also go to bed if you want to skip to dawn or do stuff like fishing. And there are resources you can only get in nighttime. The thing is, you have to take care of spirits 2 times each every day, usually with food and a hug. And while it doesn't take that much time, it stacks up. Sometimes you might just want to try new dishes, but you are pressed by time. You usually try making the same dishes which you know the spirits loves over the new dishes you want to try. but then the spirits might want to try something new and fresh, and so you need to try making new dishes, but do you even have time for that? Should I make another kitchen? Oh wait, I can't because you can only have one, so you struggle what to make. But you also need to water the plant twice a day, but you do also have to have the seed to make sure the next phase you could plant, so you have to go to the shop, but you do not know where to go. Do you even have time to go to the shop? And then
Funny enough, even in the Sea of Dead, time is a cruel mistress.
keep in mind, you can just not sleep and do your work during the night. But again, some resources you can only get in nighttime. Therefore, the opposite is also true.
This is also why I say to play with co-op if you can. Multitasking will be much faster and easier and more manageable when you two are just doing things together, so that one can face, one can make the spirit happy and take turns or something like that. It is much more manageable because of the time. But if you're playing solo, with, let's be honest here, most will, I generally believe time should be extended by some. Maybe not a lot, but it still need to be more than what it currently is. It sucks that this is the worst part of the game because it's also one of the main part of the game, time. With that said, would I recommend this game? With co-op, yeah, most likely, definitely try it. But solo, I would say likely, but not most likely, if that even makes sense. This game is fun, it's relaxing besides the time, and there's so many good animations and things to do that it's just fun to play. But remember, you have to say goodbye to the spirits, and it's not going to be easy. Trust me, I know.